mind is not like a pond which has flowers. Okay, mind is not a pond. What do you mean by that? It's like we all think that there's a mind coming from the brain. I am here. I am thinking. I am talking. Right? I am smiling. I am standing. Look, these thoughts come into my mind. I am not sleeping. I am awake. I am talking. If I am a pond, my mind is a pond, the flowers are the thoughts. That's what everybody thinks, right? If the water is the mind, the flowers are the thoughts. But when you meditate, you will understand it's not like that. There is no water, only flowers, and one flower at a time. As I told you, the mind comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. It's like it's blinking, like this. Come, disappears, giving rise to another mind. Disappears, giving rise to another mind. But there's no pond here. There's no soul. There is no something like some energy which gives you a thought. You get there. Mind is a dynamic. Mind is dynamic, which arises and passes away, arises and passes away, and arises again as fresh. Comes, passes away, and arises as fresh. Because of cause and effect. Cause because of causes. Mind is like that. Comes and goes, comes and goes, right? Okay. This understanding the mind again. This one, when we die and we report, this is the same thing. But once the mind comes, once the mind comes to the ovum, fathers and mothers, mother's ovum and father's sperm has to connect it, then it gives rise to a zygote, a ball of cells, and then these balls become like a fetus, and fetus become a child. And that's a normal process. But for the ovum and the sperm to be connected, there should be a mind. Mind should come there. Otherwise, this doesn't happen. Okay, according to Buddhism, it says for the connection, there should be the mind has to come from mind coming from outside. It's not created by the cell ball. If there is no mind in there, it doesn't happen. You can call it a soul, right? Because you guys call soul, but I'm saying the soul is not there. But for the time, if we say that if there's a soul there, and the soul, the life is like maybe 2 days, he dies, then the abortion happens, and miscarriage happens. Right? Miscarriages are not an incidental thing. It's not because of something like 99% of the time you don't know what miscarriages are due to. It is the reason is the life of the mind which came to the cell is that. Once the mind goes out, it cannot survive. It doesn't come out. It doesn't proliferate. The cells don't proliferate without the mind. Human body cells don't proliferate without the mind. There has to be a mind. Okay? So that's why laboratory setup, they can't grow cells. Can make a human being in the laboratory setup. There should be a mind. Okay? So so this tells the mind comes, and then once the mind comes to the cell, it connects the parent's DNA and food to build up the body. And the body dies, it becomes a dirt, and dirt becomes food, and the food and parent's DNA. The mind creates the body. Mind over the body is that. Mind is the one which creates the body. Okay, in deep meditation states, the mind detaches from the body. Okay, all right. Now, I'll go to the, can you come? On Mitul, I have to explain one thing. All right, now, Mitul, these are the flower, right? Yeah. We'll go there. Now, the Mitul will help us to understand what the moment is. I told you there's something called moment. So if I ask who you are, Mikul, what do you say? I am the moment. You got it? Because you live in this moment. So whatever you got from the past is the past. It's not there. It's a memory. You cannot say you are memory. You have to say the moment. When you say moment, well, that moment also gone. Okay, to understand that, you have to understand something called five aggregates or bhava. Bhava is another word in Buddhism called a moment. But it's bhava. Can you say that, everyone? Bhava. It's called moment. Okay. Now I'm showing this flower to Mito. Okay. Don't get scared. Alright? Right. Use this conversation to understand what the moment is. Eventually, at the end of our conversation, you all will understand who you are. Who Mithul is. I don't know why, depends on his answer. Okay? Okay, Mithul. I'm showing you the flower. Look at the flower. This moment, what is your moment now? It's a beautiful flower. Okay. Now, if I didn't show you this flower, did you have that moment? You didn't have it. Now, no, okay, yeah. You didn't have that moment if you didn't have a flower. Now, I'm showing the flower. If you don't have your eyes, do you have the moment? No, you have the flower. You have the eyes. If you don't have consciousness, it doesn't have to. And you have the flower, you have the eyes, and you have consciousness, all three. And if you don't want to see the flower, still do you have the flower? Or, if you don't have a memory, a knowledge about this flower in the past, then you have not seen a color in the past. Do you have this moment? No. Even though I'm seeing that, when you are looking at me, have you seen have you recognized what kind of shirt I'm wearing? The stripe or not? Have you noticed it? No, some people might have noticed because they want to know the details of the shirt. Some people I might have noticed it, but it's still, the shirt makes an image in your retina, it goes to the brain. But you don't recognize. So you don't have a moment with a striped shirt. You don't have it. So to have the moment, you need the object, you need the eyes, you need the consciousness, and you need the wanting to see, or you should have a memory about the flower, or you should have a concept about the flower which you gave a value. So what we see is things we gave a value. So you didn't see the stripe or not because you didn't give a value to the appearance of the shirt. If you give appearance, if you give value to something, well, you see that. If you give a value to the beauty of the face, you always see asymmetric nose, septal deviation. If you don't give value, you don't see that. I have several kids coming to me, with lots of acne. First thing I said, don't you get a question I asked you, don't you get acne medicine? No, I'm okay. Look, but I give value to his acne. He didn't give value to his acne. Okay, so for the moment, you need all of these. All of these things are equally course. So this moment is a result of the flower, eye, consciousness, and his wanting or the values he gave in the past. It's a cause and effect. This moment is an effect. Okay, this moment is a cause and effect. Now you understand it's a cause and effect. It's not you made it. I'm showing you. Your consciousness recognizes. I'm telling another word. I'm giving you a word. I'm telling you a word. I'm asking you not to get the meaning of this word. I'm telling you a word, but don't get meaning. Because Mitu is a soul. Soul is existing for Mitu. like you are a pond, and you get thoughts. That's what the normal people believe. Okay, everyone believes like this, but I'm saying no. I'm very pro it. I'm telling this word. Don't think the meaning. My mom. Did you get the meaning of it?
Oh,
You got the meaning, okay. Did the face of your mother came to your mind? Yeah, look. Now what do you think? What do you think about your mother? Yeah, why? I asked you not to do that. But you didn't do that. Why you couldn't do that? Because you're not controlling. You're not controlling your mind. Because you give value to mother. It comes. You give value to mother's health. It comes. Oh, my mother's sick. Where is he now? I had to call her. You understand? Oh, okay. Then now you know that your mind is not controlled by yourself. And you know the moment is the flower. This moment you don't have if there is no flower. Okay. That means to get a visual consciousness, the consciousness about the colors and the shapes. To have this consciousness, you need the object, external object. You need the eyes. You need the eyes. At least you understand this. At least this things you understand. At least you need a flower or object to get a visual consciousness. We call it eye consciousness. To have ear consciousness, that the consciousness about what you hear, you need a sound. Ear and the consciousness. And the wanting to hear, and other thing is the memories or values of the one you listen. Look, can you hear the air conditioner working? The heaters? Now you hear, right? Before that, did you hear? No. Why? You hear now. Because you want to hear. Before that, you didn't want to hear that. Because of that, you didn't have the sound. The sound moment you didn't have. Now you have the sound moment. So now we are made of ear moments, eye moments, sound moments. Okay, we can call it ear consciousness, eye consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, and body consciousness, and the mind consciousness. The mind is another sense organ. Okay, for the mind to get a mind consciousness, you need the mind object. For you, the mind object for the flower is to. Now I showed you a flower. Now you can memorize it in the mind. Okay. Now the memories of the flower comes to you. Yeah, it touches the mind sense base. I'll show you what mind sense base. It touches the mind sense base, and it creates another mind. It creates a consciousness. Mind object touches the mind sense base, like light touches the eye sense base. Mind touches the mind object touches the mind sense base to give a mind consciousness. Okay, that mind consciousness will it exist without having a mind object? Eye consciousness doesn't exist without a color. Ear consciousness doesn't exist without a sound. Nose consciousness doesn't exist without the aroma, smell. The tongue consciousness doesn't exist without the taste. The mind consciousness doesn't exist without mind object. Yeah, your previous thoughts, your previous memories. And now, I am asking you, I'm telling you, you are a combination of these moments. In one moment, you have eye consciousness. In one moment, you have ear consciousness. In one moment, you have nose consciousness. In the other moment, you have a tongue consciousness. In the other moment, you have a body consciousness. So you have a collection of these consciousness. Okay? But if there is no sound, think that. When you're born, there's no sound. No ear. No aroma. No color. No tactile feeling. For example, some diseases you don't feel the tactile sensation. Do you exist? No. Look, the consciousness is dependent on the object. For you to have a moment, you should have the object. So then is there a possibility of having a soul here? Is there a possible? If there is no object, if there are no objects, do you exist? No. for the consciousness to exist, there should be object. You understand what I'm saying? For the consciousness to arise, there should be an object. At least the external, we call it external object. Internal object is the eye. External, we call it sense base. External sense base, we call it the flower. Internal sense base, we call it in Buddhism the eye. Okay? If there is no flower, I don't have eye consciousness. I am a collection of these 5 consciousnesses. 6 consciousnesses arise from, because of the other 5 consciousnesses. 6 means the mind consciousness arises from the memories of other 5 consciousnesses, right? So if there are no other 5 consciousness, there can't be mind consciousness too, because there are no memories. All the memories are about the objects. You think about your memories now, get memories, all about objects. If there are no objects, you are not existing. Okay, this is the first example. Let's try to understand. It's very difficult to understand. You understand, Dinesh? You understand? You got somewhere? Because I don't have anything about. I don't know if I'm blind or if I'm blind. If the blind person, if I tell him about the color, can he recognize anything? No. What color? Oh, color. What is that? It's like a sound. If he is blind, he doesn't know about the sound. He doesn't have some due to some reason. If he can't feel anything coming from the body, he doesn't know about the sensory sensation. No. If he doesn't have any of the 5 senses, does he alive? Does he have consciousness? No, he doesn't have consciousness. He cannot have. He cannot have. So basically, my consciousness is what? It's not my consciousness. You got that moment. The flower created your consciousness. Object created the consciousness. Not all. At this moment, objects created the consciousness. But for object to create the consciousness, you need the eye too. You need the wanting to see that. Or you should have given value to this. So are many causes needed. Okay, there are many causes. These called cause and effect. The moment came because of the multiple causes. You cannot say I am existing. The words I am telling you now because of the cause and effect, not the person telling you.